What is up, guys? This is JDL Productions, and I've got a pretty cool smoke alarm to show you guys today. Now, this is one that I have been on the hunt for a while now. Well, maybe not this particular variant, but it is one that I have been on the hunt for a while now. And here it is. This is the Fyrnetics Lifesaver 0910. Now, basically what this is, it is a second gen F-900D, which is the alarm I've been looking for. It is basically a second gen F-900D, but there is a twist to it. Now, if I open it up here, you can see that it has got a radio transmitter in it. Now, I didn't really understand how the radio transmitter worked when I first got it, so I was reading around a little bit, and I still don't fully understand how it works, but I was reading around a little bit, and apparently there is some coding system on here to where you can somehow program it to connect with like a auxiliary device, I guess. Just something like that. Like there's some strange coding system to where you can manage to program it to where it can connect to an auxiliary device. That is basically what I read from this, and that is what I'm sort of understanding here. Now, I could be wrong, but this is just what I'm sort of understanding from it, especially as I was reading through this. And then on the box here, it says an early warning ionization type smoke detector that will alarm when smoke is present and send a signal to the receiver which sounds a second alarm. So that is basically what I am understanding about this, about the transmitter aspect of it at least. Now, like I said, basically other than the fact that it has a transmitter in it, it is a second gen F-900D. I mean, literally, I mean, I bet this was a second gen F-900D, but they changed the model number of it specifically specifically because there was a transmitter in it. So yeah, and I have been on the hunt for one of these for a while. Now, what it came with was the box, which I did show you. Came with this little instruction manual for the transmitter part, and it came with this little thing, an important notice card. It's something about the transmitter, and the regular instruction manual, which you can see it even says F-900D on the manual, because that's basically what this is. It's a second gen F-900D with a transmitter in it. So yeah, and it also came with a packet of screws and a battery, which it's a GP power cell. Now, there is a listing for this on eBay. There's still quite a few left. I think there's like 8 or 9 left. Yeah, there were quite a few of them listed. So if you want one, I will put the link in the description because there are still quite a few left on eBay. So let's look at the box. So here's the front of the box. Here it's got some info on it. Sorry, I can't talk clearly. Then you have a clear shot of the detector, which it shows a first gen F-900D on there. Don't know why. And then if we look at the back, it shows sort of a just shows sort of the internals, kind of describes the internals of the detector. And yeah. Now, I'm not going to read through the manual just because I really don't feel like it, but what we are going to do is I've got my first gen F-900D here, and we are going to do a bit of a comparison between the first and the second gen. So, first difference, which you can probably tell right off the bat, is the second gen has a horn output hole right here. On this one little vent here, it has a horn output hole. Now, on the first gen, it does not have that horn output hole. So that's just the first difference, which you can spot pretty much right off the bat. And also, one thing I noticed is the test button on this one, it's a bit like pointy. It's got a little like pokey part at the end of it, and it honestly kind of hurts to press down on it. It hurts my finger a little bit. This one does not have that little pointy part. It's just sort of flat. So, yeah. Now, those are the first differences. Now, the main differences are on the inside. So let's open up the first gen. Make sure the cover's on. It has an issue where the cover falls off sometimes. And then let's open up the second gen. So here are the insides of both of them. Now, first, the main difference is that this one has a Kobishi CLB 27 squealer. This one has a piezo, and this is the same piezo that Kidda alarms today are still using, which Lifesaver kind of evolved into Kidda over time. The sensors are identical, except this one has some stickers on it. This one doesn't. The test button, this one sort of has a little tab here that presses down onto the sensor, and this one has these little contacts here, and the metal part sort of presses down on them. Now, another difference is that the first gen has a couple of sensitivity adjustments right here, and this other strange little circuit board thing here. The second gen does not have that. So, those are pretty much the main differences between the first and the second gen. Yep. Whoops, it chirped. That actually scared me. I'm not sure if you saw me jump, but it scared me. Yeah, those are pretty much the differences between the two, and now I'm going to have fluency issues for the rest of this video because of how much that scared me. Alright, now, the main part is the coating these both do. If we test the second gen, as you can hear, does a 5.6, and the first gen just does continuous. So yeah, and of course this one has the squealer and this one has the piezo. Now I also, in my collection, I have what is, hang on a minute, I also have this in my collection, which I guess you can technically consider this to be a third gen F-900D. It is the 0905. Well, this one's the Fire Century version, but still, this is technically the third gen F-900D. Now, as you can see, the cover on this one is a lot smaller than these two. If we open it up here, the insides are a lot different as well. I have the original battery in it, don't ask why, but the insides are a bit different. As you can see, if we open the second gen one, they have the same horn, but the sensors are different. This has the old metal sensor, and this one sort of has a plastic metal sensor, I guess. Yeah, it has that same little test button tab thingy there. But, yeah, it is very different and a lot more compact than the earlier generations of F-900D. So, yeah. And this one, as you can see, it does have the horn output hole right there, just like the second gen one right there. And it does about the exact same coating as the second gen F-900D. So, yeah, those are basically the three generations, I guess. I mean, this one is technically not an F-900D, but at the same time, it technically is, because it is what succeeded these two. So, yeah, pretty cool. Now, I really don't know what else there is to say about this. I'll go ahead and test it one more time. And once more, just because why not? So that is the Lifesaver Fyrnetics Lifesaver 0910, aka a second gen F900D with a transmitter.